In the inside page, it's just I don't know how people feel about going to the cinema these days.
Love it.
But Steven Spielberg, who doesn't, is, numbers. Literally, the number of people going to the cinema is in serial decline. And Steven Spielberg has been talking about this, lamenting what he calls the demise of the movie-going experience. He's saying that theatrical release is going to streaming sites automatically and immediately first, killing off the film industry.
But people are making choices, aren't they? It's not cheap to go to the cinema.
No.
I mean, it's a real treat. It's a wonderful experience, but it's not cheap. So if people are already paying for streaming services, they'll think, right, OK, well, that's a cost that we can already kind of account for.
And then, so that, he says, for example, the magic of being in a social situation with a bunch of strangers is a tonic. That's true. It is a different experience seeing a film in a cinema. But you're right. If it's a film, if it's a financial decision, that's very different.
All I've got is pictures. How flexible are you?
Oh, what's the story?
Physically flexible.
What's the story?
Well, it's a question. It's a very simple question, Charlie. It's not like kind of going into anything too personal. Are you flexible?
Let's see the picture. Shall we see the picture?
You're that flexible.
Tell us who this is.
Are you that flexible? No. You just nodded your head, shook your head. This is Liberty Barris, who's 14 years old. She's from Leicester. And in that position, she walked 20 metres. So bent backwards, holding her knees. And she did it in 22.53 seconds. And she set a new Guinness World Record.
Takes you a little while to kind of work out the picture, doesn't it? Just to what's facing which direction. If you know what I mean. Well done, is what I say. Well done. Don't try that at home.
This
it's
is
what
another.
we need to say.
This is something I just loved. This is 10-month-old black rhino with mum. They're at Flamingo Land in North Yorkshire, critically endangered. You know, there are only 6,000 left in the wild, but I just thought it was just a beautiful.
Is that an affectionate
gesture, nose nuzzle. A little nose nuzzle.
The Times, I don't know if you've seen, William Shatner's doing quite a few interviews at the moment. There's something about William Shatner I'm always drawn to. He is eccentric, to say the least, in all his interviews. And he's got a new book out, which is talking about his sadness, about falling out with Spock, Leonard Nimoy, amongst others in the cast. And over time, he's realised that a lot of the other members of the cast thought that he wasn't nice to work with.
Who? William Shatner or...?
William Shatner has realised over the years that lots of people thought he was not nice. William Shatner was not nice. And he said, for example, Nichelle Nichols, who played Uhura, told him once that all the cast found him cold and arrogant. Shatner says, I was shattered. I was horrified to learn this, ashamed that I hadn't realised it while I was making the programme.
No.
And then, of course, he went to space most recently.
He did.
It's never dull in the world of William Shatner.
Yeah, he did. It's not very nice, is it? You kind of wish you'd been told earlier, don't you?
Yes.
You could have changed things.